Oh. Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming live from Sun City in Arizona. Hope you're all having a super fantastic, sparkling, thankful Thursday. My apologies, I was just looking for a card, which I'm... Oh, I left it. It's out of reach. It's over there, and my arms just aren't long enough. So anyway, hope you're having a super fantastic, sparkling, thankful. Oh, I've already said that. I have much. I don't know what it was this morning, but after having emotional starts the last 3 mornings, I woke up this morning and I felt so much better and so much lighter. And I was like, this is going to be a super fantastic, sparkling day because no matter what happens, it's super fantastic and sparkling. It was a really, really good day. I got up, I was energized. I did my devotions this morning, got all emotional about it again, but came through the other side feeling lighter and brighter yet again. And then had my shower, got dressed, and we went. Oh, I actually made myself a breakfast smoothie this morning. So I had that. And then Zeffie came out really early. She came out like around 6:15. She has been surfacing lately around 6:30. Normally she saunters out around, well, when the rest of the country was not in daylight savings and we had 4 hours between when I got up and when the wake up call was, she would saunter out around 7 o'clock. Now she's sauntering out around 6:30. Today she came out around 6:15 and she was like tail going. She was back end was swinging. She was all excited about I don't know what, but she came straight over to me for morning loves. Normally she goes running past me and jumps up on the dashboard and I look at her and go, I get no morning love, and then she'll come back over to me and say hi. But today she came straight over to me, puts her front feet up on the seat next to me here, and stretches out. She wouldn't get up next to me. She just stood there on her hind legs with her front paws up on the bench and just stretched towards me. So she got some morning love this morning as well at 6:15. And so we got ready. Everything got ready early. We went for a nice walk before it was, even though it was still 84 degrees when we went for a walk. We left just before 7 o'clock this morning and it was 84 degrees already. Right now it's 108 outside, I think. I'm trying to read what's on the... Alexa, what's the outside temperature?
Right now, it's 106 degrees.
Oh, it's 106.
Tonight, expect a low of 83 degrees.
Oh, and a low of 83 degrees overnight. Great. But we had both. We had this AC going most of the night, and then when I woke up in the middle of the night, it was just too noisy and couldn't get back to sleep. So I switched to the front AC and turned this one off. And then this area was nice and cool when I came out in the morning, which was kind of nice. And the bedroom was a little on the warm side. So we're getting to the point where we're getting close to where it's going to have to be both ACs running 24/7. And I hate that. I hate having that. I prefer to have one AC running at night. I really do. But too warm for that. Anyway, so so we came back from our work our walk early, but we had a nice big long walk. Even though it was 84 degrees, we both came back and like dripping. So I think I already had my shower. And you know it's warm when you turn the cold water on and get hot water running. Yeah, in the middle of the day when you go to, like when you go to get a drink of cold water or something, you turn the tap on for cold water and you get hot water running out. There's a problem, that it's a little warm outside. But yeah, so we had a good day. It was a great day on the chat today. It was not crazy like it was yesterday. It was steady today. It was steady. I did manage to have a couple of times where I could stand up next to the desk here in March, and they actually took a break at one point and filled up the water bottles. I have 2 water bottles that sit on my table. Got a snack, got some puppy love and all that sort of stuff. So walked around, marched in the spot. I didn't do any jumping jacks because the RV shakes too much for that. I kind of felt like doing jumping jacks today. It's kind of weird. And then finished off. It was a little late in finishing today, but that was okay. I was helping somebody to get up and running, and that was perfectly fine. So as soon as I finished that, I jumped in the car and went off and got my mail. I got mailbox love today, and I am so grateful because today is my half birthday as well. And I got the stack of cards. There was a stack of cards there. There was a package. I was like, yay! And letter number 24 from the flower letters showed up today. And I was like, but it's the last one. So now I'm going to go and register for the Wild West series, so I can read that. And that's all about a mail order bride. So this one here, this flower letter series was Audrey Rose, and that was about her time. It was about her and her beau Charlie, and their relationship as they met while they were both in the service in the military, and everything. And this was before June 6, 1944. So you got to read their stories all the way up until June 6. You got to read what happened to them on June 6, and this is the letter that sums up everything that happened after. And I'm not telling you who wrote the letter. I'm not telling you how it ended. You're going to have to figure it out for yourself. And the link is down in the description of the video below. So yes, I'm looking forward to signing up for the Wild West series, because that was actually a really good series. And they write it with historical accuracy on things, but from a fictional character perspective. But a lot of the stuff like dates and events and everything else and things that happened during World War II are accurate. So they do a lot of research on these letters. And it was a lot of fun. So I got that, and that was a good read, although it's done in Audrey Rose's handwriting, which is a little on the tiny side, so you do have to pull the magnifying glass out for that one. Well, I do anyway. Thankfully, I have a good-sized rectangular one, so I can just hold it over the top and just read several lines before I have to move it. So it's not one I have to do this with across the page, like I used to have to do with some of those round ones. And then, of course, but what surprised me, here's what surprised me. So there is a card sitting over there for my half birthday for my friend Kelly, so thank you. And then I got a box. And in the box was this really cool card. Look at this. Isn't that cool? And also like only half containers of ice cream with chocolate, and yeah. So like I'll be all over that. And this is from my friends Steve and Jan. And I got a milk chocolate chunk cookie. I'm sort of like, oh my gosh, that is going to go down so well. But I am learning, if I'm going to have anything with sugar, high sugar content, to do it early in the day. Otherwise, I end up with sugar headaches at night and sugar hangovers the next morning. So thank you, Steve and Jan, for my really cool, it says half as good. I know. But see, it's got two halves of two different ice creams. That's a whole ice cream thingy. That's okay. So I got that, and then I was opening up the rest of the cards. This stack of cards here, two were I call them just because cards, and they're cards that come for absolutely no reason, just to wish you a great day. They may have a good story in there, they may have a really good quote in there, but they're just the unexpected cards. The rest of the cards in the stack were all thank you cards for birthday wishes that we had sent out. So I was sort of like, wow. So sometimes you don't always get birthday wishes, thank you cards for birthday wishes. So that was a very pleasant surprise, and people showing their gratitude. So I am very grateful for my little package of goodies and all my cards that I got today. That was awesome. So that was my half birthday. And so today, and I didn't realize it was my half birthday till halfway through the day, and I suddenly thought, oh, where am I with my birthday resolutions? Yeah, we better go check on the progress of those. So we're actually doing quite well. I'm not sure if we're on track. I have to find my journal that has them written in. And I'm not sure if it's here in the RV or if I moved it over to the storage unit. But I do have them written in my journal. I remember some of them. And on those ones that I do remember, I'm doing very well at. I'm actually ahead of where I thought I would be, which is awesome. And some of the other ones aren't going quite as planned, but there's been that obstacle that you can't get over, under, around, or through. So you had to take a different route to get it was forcing you onto the right path, which has been amazing. just learning a lot and everything else. And so I was very grateful for the detour, the obstacles that were the detours in the right direction, um, because it meant that when I wrote down those resolutions, I had the idea of how it was going to show up, and I'd written down how it was going to show up, and everything happens for a reason, and those roadblocks have come up because of saying, yeah, no, you're not going that way that you thought you were going to get there. You're going this way. I went, okay. And so we're on a different path to get to the same results, just not the way I planned. So things don't always go according to plan, and that's okay. We have our breakdowns, we have our breakthroughs, and we move on. We keep moving forward. And somebody's deciding to play with her squeaky toy. Oh my gosh, I wish I had the video camera out right now. She's got her ice cream cone from her last bark box, which has a flat piece, and it's like the ice cream's been dropped on the floor and made this pool, and it's got crinkle stuff in the spillage area, and then it's got the squeaky toy in the cone, and she had it by the crinkly piece, and she was tossing her head around. She tossed it too hard that the thing went flying. Oh, I'm getting looked at now like you're talking about me. Yes, Zeffy, I am talking about you. But yeah, so I need to find it though, because I know there's some stuff in there that I have forgotten that I'm supposed to be doing. Even though I've got my plans and I'm going along with them, I'm sort of like, was that part of my birthday resolution or not? What was I supposed to do with that? So I do need to find my journal that has them written in. And like I said, I'm not sure if it's here in the RV or if it's been moved to the storage unit. So I will be finding that this weekend, and checking up on those. So, I like setting birthday resolutions because it's different from everybody's doing it January 1st and da-da-da-da, because the birthday resolutions, I think, mean a little more when it's tied to your birthday. And anyway, your birthday is your own personal New Year's. Your own personal New Year's Day is the beginning of the new year of the next year of your life. So on my birthday eve, I sit down and I wrote out my birthday resolutions for this year in great detail. There was a lot of handwriting involved. There was a lot of thought involved in it. And then I was just sort of like, stop thinking and just let the pen run. And so the pen ran. Half the time I didn't even know what I was writing because I was letting the subconscious take over and get things written down. And then afterwards we went back over and I went, we can do this. And sometimes when I write down goals and things and like big goals, and I go back and I read over what I've written, I'm like, really? I don't know. But this time I looked at them and I thought, those will work. We can do this. We can do these. So when my birthday arrived, it was sort of like, Happy New Year to me, happy birthday, Happy New Year. And now we're rocking and rolling. And I started the year off great, because I was sort of like, now, I've got these, they've been put out there, I've spoken them aloud, it's been put out there, and now we're going to close the book and get stuck in and get going. And then it was like about a week later, I was directed to an email or a website, I can't remember which, for one of the authors, one of the speakers that I follow, and she was doing a 21-day manifestation challenge starting on the 1st of January. So I'm like, I'm in. And so we did that one. Then on the 1st of April, we started the meditation challenge. And I only got partway through that one. I don't know why I stopped. Something just said, no, not right now. It might have been just because the next one, I'm not sure. But it just mentally, it just said, stop. And the next one starts on 1st of July. 1st of July is the next one. I don't remember what the next one is. I'll have to go back and have a look. But she has these 4 21-day challenges each on the quarter. And so I was like, and I've got access to all the courses over the whole year, so I can go back at any time, either redo them or complete the ones that I haven't completed. So the meditation one, I'm not sure if I'll go back and complete that one, but the manifestation one I might go back and do. I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. But it's with your birthday, it is a great time to set goals, because then you're working on the goals. And some of you may have birthdays around June, July, August, and September, and like 1st of January rolls around, and you're like, well, I'm rocking this thing. I'm rocking my resolutions. Everybody else is like, oh, I'm going to start my New Year's resolutions. And you're already on the path and you're off and running already. And it's tied to your birthday. So it's like, what do I want to achieve by my next birthday? It even could be that you're having a milestone birthday, which you usually typically end in a 0 or a 5. But some people like to say that every year is a milestone birthday because it celebrates another year around the sun. And I'm like, I'm all for that. And so some people want to do special celebrations for their birthdays. And so they take a year to plan. They take a year to plan them. And that's their birthday resolution, is that by next birthday. And it could be that they want to release weight. They want to get healthier by their next birthday. And so they use their birthday as their starting post, as the start post for 1 year. And then their birthday, when it comes around the following year, is their ending post. So I think it adds more. It adds more of a touch, more of a reason to do the resolutions if it's tied to your birthdays than if it's tied to January 1st, and unless your birthday is on January 1st, and then having to complete it by December 31st. So unless your birthday is on January 1st, that's okay. I totally get it. But if your birthday is in July and you're waiting until January 1st to start your New Year's resolutions, why not? Why not start it on your birthday? Why not use it? And that way that way you're not doing it with everybody else, and everybody, oh, how are your resolutions going? You go, oh, mine's going great. I'm 7 months into it, and it's January 1st. And they're like, what do you mean you're 7 months into it? We're only on the first day of the year. Yeah, well, I started mine on my birthday. That way you can, it's just so, I got to do a half year check-in on my goals, on my birthday resolutions to see where I'm at. But I know some of the goals that I'm going for, the ones I know of, are well underway. Some of them are a little off target only because I had to change direction, which is fine. And some of them are very lofty goals that I just thought, we'll give it a whirl and see what happens. Just put it out there, go after it, and see what happens. But I know that even if there are some of the resolutions that I don't achieve, it could be because I wasn't mentally ready at the time. But I also know that going after these birthday resolutions is that I am changing as a person. I am discovering more about me and who I am. And I love that. I'm doing way more writing this year than I have in the past year. I'm starting to write out my story, which is important because it's important that future generations know who I am. For those that want to, those doing family tree research and stuff. We all know the importance of telling the story. So we've got that. I'm wanting to get back into travel adventures again. We've been talking about before the Dirt Nap Adventures. It's taken me a few months to get that up and running, to get that up back on the table to even start drafting out some ideas and stuff. And that's okay, because that was one of my birthday resolutions, was to get Before the Dirt Nap Adventures up and running again. We were a little slow off the block on that one, but that's okay. It's not a problem. I'm exactly where I need to be at this point in time. And one of the cool parts is that with Mailbox Power, we've got our weekly wake-up calls and stuff, is that we've started this new class that's going to take us through the whole summer. And it's all about telling your story. And we're partway through week 1. I still have to do my homework, but I did get, because I don't go and check my mail very often, I got my workbook. So I am super, super excited. So after I take Zeffy for a walk, I will be coming in and cramming in my homework and getting my homework done before tomorrow morning. So yeah, but this is going to be awesome. What this is about, it's going to help me discover even more about who I am and the person I am becoming. So I am super, super excited about it. I have just had a day full of gratitude today. It has been a blast. And I want to keep this feeling going because I love it so much. I love being in this mood of being in this area of gratefulness. But right now, I have a puppy that I need to go for a walk, and we're probably down to like 105 maybe. It's freaking hot out there. And Zeffy's, and when we go out there, she doesn't just walk. When we get to the areas where there's no grass, she's like trotting along because she knows where the next area of grass is, and she just wants to get there as quick as possible. But she knows I won't run, so she just trots along, tongue hanging out, mouth open, big smile on her face, And she's just happy as Larry, she's a happy little puppy, and she's just walking along there. And yeah, she just has a blast when we're out there. And then she sees the grass and over to the grass, does her business, off to the next piece of grass, and off we go. So yeah, she's fun to walk with. How far we will walk tonight in this heat, I don't know. I just know I've got to drink some coconut water before we go, so I've got the electrolytes there and the hydration, and use my Breathe vapor stick under my nostrils to help me breathe because of the air quality outside right now. Although today, I will admit, when we went for our walk this morning, I didn't use my vapor stick and stuff. And this morning when I woke up and I was doing my breathing exercises, I didn't cough, which I thought was awesome, because whenever there's bad air quality, I sit here in the morning and do some deep breathing exercises for about a minute. They go for you. Breathe in for 5, hold it for 5, release for 5, breathe in for 5. So every 15 seconds. So it's 4 times you're doing that cycle. And a lot of mornings when I'm doing the deep breathing, I end up in coughing fits. And this morning I got it done. Boom. And I was like, yes. So, but there's still excessive heat warnings out there. I think there's still bad air quality warnings out there. But this morning was the first time in about a week that I woke up breathing freely and being able to do these deep breathing exercises without coughing and spluttering. So I was very grateful. I was like, yes, and got up and did some marching in place, and it's been an awesome day. So go out, have a super fantastic, sparkling, thankful Thursday evening, and we'll catch you guys back here because tomorrow is Fun Friday. Woo woo! And it's basically all about making it finish it Friday. So all those little projects you have laying around, get them done to free up your weekends. Make sure your desk is tidy when you leave the office at the end of the day on Friday. Make sure your desk is clean. You can have your planner set up for the following week so you don't have to worry about it over the weekend. But just have it so that you can go out of your office on Friday afternoon and know that everything that you needed to get done this week was done, that your office is clean, so when you come back in on Monday morning, you're ready to light that spark of magic for the following week. So go out, have a super fantastic, sparkling rest of your Thankful Thursday. Have a great start to Fun Friday tomorrow with, play your game, finish it Friday. If I get this, and this done, I get to do this. It could be watching a movie. It could be ordering pizza. Actually, pizza would be good for dinner tomorrow night, wouldn't it, Zeph? We get our cauliflower pizza with pesto and mozzarella and ricotta and spinach and bacon and mushrooms and pineapple. You love that pizza, don't you? Yes, Zeffy loves that pizza. And they make the cauliflower crust where they make it. It's very, very thin and it's super crunchy, which I love. That one, I've got to give her half of my crust. So when I have my little wedge, I can eat the wedge, and then she's sitting there, so I have to break the crust in half and give her some of it. So, because I love the crunchy crust, so I want my piece of crunchy crust, but I do share it with Zeffy. And she sits very patiently and just watches me. She doesn't whine. She doesn't stomp her paw. Not like Gus. Gus used to sit there and with his paw, he would stomp the ground with his paw. And of course, he had this big mass. I mean, his paw was the size of the palm of my hand. He had these massive paws. So they made a thud when he thud. And then he'd look at you like, where's my bit? Whereas Zeffy just sits there very patiently. And if I'm sitting here at the table eating, she'll be sitting here very quietly looking straight ahead. And when I'm not looking at her, she'll look down at the pizza. And as soon as I turn my head to look at her, she'll look straight ahead again. It is the funniest thing. It is hilarious. But anyway, I'm out of here. I got to go take her for a walk. Is there even a breeze? Last night it was hot and there was no breeze. I mean, even if it's a hot breeze, the breeze makes it so much more bearable. So I don't think there's any, and I can't see the edge of my awning. Okay, I have my awning out all day again today. So I can't see the edge of my awning to see if it's fluttering. But anyway, go have a super fantastic, sparkling evening, and we'll catch you guys back here tomorrow for Fun Friday. Hey, Conera.